Good morning, dear children. Today we will discuss the three things in a chapter light. Number one is the light rays. Second one is the pinhole camera, and third one is shadow. Now let us discuss the first one, that is light rays. Okay. Now before in a light rays, we will discuss the four things here. One is a ray of light. Second one is the beam of light. Third one is the convergent beam of light and divergent beam of light. Okay. Now first of all, let us come to the term ray. Now what do you mean by the ray of light? R-A-Y, ray. Now if I draw a straight line, okay. Now this straight line represents a ray of light. Okay. Now this ray of light, now what is ray of light means? A straight path in which a light travels is called a ray of light. A straight path, it is a straight line. Okay, I have drawn a straight line, so it is the straight path. A straight path in which a light travel is known as the ray of light. And this ray of light is given by arrow, denoted by arrow. And this arrow denotes the direction of the ray of light. Okay, now direction of the ray of light means if I draw the arrow towards the right side, so it denotes that the ray of light is traveling towards right. Similarly, if I draw the arrow towards left, it denotes the rays of light a ray of light is traveling towards left. So this is about the ray of light. So what is ray of light means? A straight line path in which a light travels is known as the ray of light. Next one comes a beam of light. The collection of ray of light is known as beam of light. A collection of rays of light are known as beam of light. Which means if I draw a number of rays together, 1, 2, 3, 4 rays I have drawn, and this collection of the ray of light is known as the beam of light. And the beam of light can be three types. One is a parallel beam, convergent beam, this one is a convergent, and third one is the divergent beam of light. Now parallel beam of light means when our rays of light are parallel to each other. Okay. And this beam of light, these rays of light which forms a beam, they are known as the parallel beam of light. So in a parallel beam of light, the rays of light will never intersect or they will not meet. So we call it as a beam of light. Second one is the convergent beam of light. Okay, when a beam of light coming from a source, these are the beam of light coming from a source and meet at one point. All the beam of light which are coming from the source and meeting at one point, they intersect or they meet at one point. All the beam of light will meet at one point, and that is known as the convergent beam of light. Convergent means to meet. Okay, so convergent beam of light means a beam of light which comes from the source and they meet or they intersect. They are known as the convergent beam of light. Third one comes the divergent. So divergent beam of light, divergent means to spread, to move apart. Okay. Now in a divergent beam of light, from a point source, there is a source of light. From the source, the rays of light will get scattered. When the rays of light will spread it out, when they get scattered, then they are known as a divergent beam of light. So in a divergent beam of light, the rays of light they spread it out. In a convergent beam of light, the beam of light they will meet. Whereas in a parallel beam of light, the rays of light are parallel to each other. So these are about the rays of light. So the next one is the pinhole camera. Now this pinhole camera, it's not actually a camera, but it is a rectangular box. And this rectangular box is either made up of metal or it is made up of cardboard. Okay, now you can see the diagram here. At the front part of this camera, of this pinhole camera, you will make a very tiny hole, a very small aperture or a hole. And a hole as a pinhole, a very small hole. Okay, not the bigger one, a very small hole you will make it, you pierce a hole. And at the back side of this rectangular box, you will keep a screen. And that screen can be a white sheet of paper, white paper, or a white cloth, or a tracing paper. Anything can be. Okay, but here I have taken a tracing paper as a screen. Tracing paper as a screen. Now what you do is that now you keep the source of light, that is a lighted candle, in front of the box, in front of the pinhole. And from this lighted candle, from this burning candle, the light can travel in all the directions in a straight line. And some part of the light will enter through this small hole, through this small aperture, and goes inside the screen, and therefore you can see the inverted image. It's upside down. You can see the inverted image of this burning candle. Okay, so you will see the inverted image. Inverted is upside down. You can see the inverted image of the burning candle on the screen when the light passes from this burning candle to the pinhole. Okay, so you can see the image, and the image which you can see, okay, can be larger or it can be smaller. Now, when you increase the distance of the screen, when you take the screen away from the pinhole, okay, now what you find is the size of the image will become larger. Okay, the size of the image will be larger when you increase the distance away from the pinhole. The size of the image will be larger. Then again, when you bring the screen nearer and nearer, that is closer to the pinhole, okay, the size of the image will become smaller. Similarly, when you increase the distance of the object, when you take the object away from the pinhole, the size of the image will become larger. Similarly, when you bring that source of object closer and closer, very close to the pinhole, the size of the image will become smaller. Okay, so these are the conditions. This way you can see the size of the image can be bigger and smaller depending upon the position of the screen and the position of the object. The next one is there. Now, if you make the hole, okay, when you make the hole larger, okay, when you make a bigger hole here, then what will happen is that now the image will become blurred. Okay, the image of this, the inverted image so form of the screen of this lighted candle will become blurred. Okay, now why they become blurred is that because when you make the larger hole, what will happen is that the image which is formed on the screen of a pinhole camera, the image will become blurred. Blurred means you cannot see the image clearly. Okay, so to see the image clearly, what we have to do? We have to make a hole like a pinhole. So by making a pinhole in a rectangular box, you can see the image, and the image can become larger and smaller depending upon the position of the screen as well as the object. So this is about the pinhole. Now the next one is shadow. Okay. Now this shadow actually, when they are formed, is when the opaque object is kept in the source of light, in front of the source of light, then a dark patch will be found behind that opaque object, which we call it as a shadow. Now, when the light is coming, suppose you take a light rays, a light coming from a sun. When you keep a stone in front of that light rays, what you will observe? You will observe that a dark patch is forming behind the stone. So stone is an opaque object. Opaque object means any object in which the light cannot travel, so the light cannot pass through them, they are known as the opaque object. So stone, book, table, chairs, okay, even a human body, okay, we are considered as an opaque object because the light cannot pass through our body. Okay, so all these, whatever the things except the light, except the white things, okay, all the object apart from the white object, the other things are considered to be as a opaque object. So always the opaque object will form a shadow. Even the animals, birds, they cast a shadow on the ground. Okay, or even our human body, we cast a shadow on the ground, and the shadow can be larger and smaller. Okay, depending upon the distance of the sun. Okay, from us. Okay, now this shadow actually these are formed by the opaque object. And now what is shadow is when the opaque object is kept in front of the source of light, a dark patch is formed behind that opaque object, and that dark patch is known as the shadow. Okay, and these shadows are formed only by the opaque object, and this shadow are cast by every object. All the opaque objects will cast the shadow. Okay, when you move, okay, your shadow will also move along with you. When you dance, the shadow will also dance along with you. Okay, When you do all the activities, whatever the activities you do, the shadow will also follow the activities which we perform, which we do. So that means the shadow always move along with us. Okay, shadow always move along with us. And the shadow can be a dark patch, a very dark shadow can be, or it can be a very light shadow. And the dark part of the shadow is known as the umbra. Okay, the dark part of the shadow is known as the umbra, and the lighter part of the shadow is known as the penumbra. Okay, so in the next class we will come to the formation of eclipse. The solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse is also based on the formation of the shadow. Okay, so we will come to that point. Thank you.